COVID cases surpassed 4 million in the United States. So is a vaccine the only answer, or is there a safer option? Dr. Robert Hariri is the founder and CEO of Cellularity, a spinoff of biotech giant Celgene. He joins me again this evening. All right, Doctor, thank you so much for being with us again this evening. Just this week, the government has spent close to $2 trillion to buy vaccines for 100 million people that they say will protect us against the COVID virus. So my question is this. It seems it's warp speed, it's Donald Trump time. But is a short time sufficient to know the long-term consequences of such a vaccine?
I mean, let's face it, the efforts to find a long-term containment solution for this virus have focused mainly on the development of the vaccine, and the efforts being funded by Warp Speed are meant to accelerate and expand the scalability of any product that's produced. There are many approaches being used. Right now, there are some 27 human clinical trials with different vaccines, with over 100 preclinical vaccines in development. The reality, though, is that we are pushing very, very quickly, and normal vaccine development takes considerably more than we are predicting for this approach, because we have to look at long-term safety effects. The hope is that we are going to get enough safety data to justify putting this vaccine out, and then continually gather information to ensure that we're not introducing any harm to the population.
All right, so let's assume there's 100 million doses. They say they're going to be given out for free. Who gets the doses? Do you have any idea?
Again, right now it appears that the strategy is to produce as much of this vaccine necessary to broadly immunize the population. I've heard estimates of 100 to 200 million patients being vaccinated. Now, the reality is, let's look at what we know about COVID-19. COVID-19 doesn't have very serious consequences in the majority of people who are exposed and infected. In fact, some estimates are that 95% of people who are infected with COVID-19 have either mild symptoms or minimal symptoms, and they recover without any long-term problems. Now, what that suggests is that there's an underlying difference between patients who get sick and those who don't that could give us a signal as to where to actually be looking to create the most effective therapies. I'm a believer that a therapeutic approach probably will serve us better because, number one, you can focus deployment of the
What
treatment.
is a therapeutic? Sorry, doctor, sorry. What's a therapeutic approach? What does that mean?
So we know that you can treat patients who are symptomatic, proven to be COVID positive, with a variety of agents that either boost their immune response to the virus or protect them against the symptoms of the virus. Now, I'll be honest with you, what we've learned is that perhaps some of the best equipped doctors to treat the bad consequences of this virus are doctors who treat cancer, because we've learned using immunotherapeutic tools. These are approaches which augment or support or boost a patient's own immune response to cancer. Many of the side effects of those treatments are similar to the side effects we were seeing with COVID-19, the so-called cytokine storm, the problems with blood coagulation, and so on. In fact, many of the drugs being used by doctors combating COVID-19 are actually cancer drugs. But what's encouraging is that approaches like developing neutralizing antibodies, like companies like Regeneron and Sorrento, and our approach at Cellularity, which is to develop an immunotherapy product, one which is an immune cell, which can be delivered via simple intravenous infusion and will boost a patient's ability to destroy the virally infected cells, thereby lowering the overall burden of virus. These things are very important to develop in parallel to the vaccine effort. So, I'm convinced that the public would be greatly served by the broad efforts to do both vaccine development and therapy development, so that we can treat patients who are known to be infected and sick, as well as protect patients who are at risk of becoming sick.
Okay. All right. Dr. Robert Hariri, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
And next, Next, a chilling story of a Marine veteran followed and harassed by Antifa amid violent protests. Dave Rubin is here to react.